Welcome everyone. This video deals with Prose 3 from Unit 3 in celebration of being alive, written by Dr. Christian Bernard. So do you know? So who is Christian Bernard? He's a very famous person in the field of medicine. So Dr. Christian Bernard, he was a South African cardiac surgeon who performed the world's first successful human-to-human heart transplant in the year 1967. So he achieved a great milestone in the field of medicine, especially for the heart treatment. Now let's see about the author, Dr. Christian Bernard. The Christian Neethling Bernard was born in rural South Africa in the year 1922 to poor parents as their fourth child. So he was born in a poor family, and also he had three siblings. He evinced great interest in his academics and was determined to pursue medicine after he lost his brother to a cardiac ailment. So one of his brothers died due to cardiac ailment, so he had a great determination in his mind to become a doctor. At last he achieved it. He won many scholarships and pursued his higher studies, specializing in cardiac surgery. So he got many scholarships and also completed a course in the cardiac surgery. As a cardiac surgeon, the Bernard focused on congenital and complicated cardiac condition for which there was no cure at the time. So especially he focused on the cardiac problem, because giving the treatment for the cardiac problem that time was very difficult or very rare. After experimenting with the heart transplantation on animals, he performed the world's first human-to-human heart transplant in the year 1967. He first tried the heart transplantation in the animals. Then after that, he made the great achievement in the field of medicine, especially in the heart surgery. He attempted the first human-to-human heart transplantation in the year 1967. He gained worldwide recognition and went on to develop many surgery techniques which are being adopted till date. Then after that, he became very famous in the field of medicine, and also he developed many techniques in the surgery, so which are being adopted till date by our doctors nowadays. The Bernard has penned 14 books and 235 scientific articles that have been published in reputed journals. And also he became a writer. So he wrote 14 books and 235 articles based on the science. So that was published in a well-reputed journals. Journals means here the dailies, the newspapers in those days. The sum of the books are One Life, the 50 Ways to Healthy Heart, The Best Medicine, and The Faith. The most of the books are based on the scientific health. Then, a pioneer of cardiac surgery, he obtained the doctorate in the medicine from the University of Cape Town. Then also he pursued the doctorate in medicine from the Cape Town University. Cape Town is the capital of South Africa. This was followed by 11 honorary doctorates bestowed upon him in universities of all over the world. Then most of the university awarded him with a doctorate. So he received 11 honorary doctorates from the various universities in the world. He has also received 36 international awards. So in these late years, he established the Christian Bernard Foundation to serve and promote the cause of underprivileged children throughout the world, and died at the age of 78 in the year 2001. Then after that, he made a foundation, established a foundation for the underprivileged children. And he died at the age of 78 in the year 2001. It's a remarkable achievement in the field of medicine. Will stay forever. There are several physically challenged people who have lived successful and meaningful lives. Here are a few personalities who have fought great odds and lived a life of blazing achievement. Let's share what we know about each of them and complete the table below. So look at the name of the personalities. Beethoven. So Beethoven, so his challenge, the nature of challenge is hearing impairment. That means he had a difficult on hearing, but he became a great musician. The next one is Demosthenes. The next one, Helen Keller, Mariappan Thangavelu, Mozart, John Milton, and Sudha Chandran. So he is the Demosthenes. He had a speaking problem, but he became a great statesman, a good orator. Here it is Helen Keller. So you know very well She had visually challenged, but he became a great writer and also he introduced the braille system for the blind people to read. So, what a great achievement by this young lady. Here, it is a Mariappan Thangavelu from Tamil Nadu. So, he is a physically challenged person. He has a permanent disability in his leg. But he did not worry about his disability, but he took part in the Paralympic. Then he got gold medal and also he made India proud. What an enthusiastic person in Tamil Nadu. Here, it is Mozart. So his natural challenge was autism. Autism means the some kind of problem make relationship with the other people, but he became a great musician in the world. The next one is John Milton. He's a great writer in the history of English literature. So he had a visual problem, but he became the first epic writer in the history of English literature. Here, this is Sudha Chandra from South India. So she lost her legs in an accident, but she never gave up her determination, then became a great dancer in India. So these people are great, the inspiration to the world and all the young minds. Now, let's move on to the lesson. We all know that Dr. Christian Barnard was the first doctor to perform a heart transplant surgery. Here we have an extract of his speech, wherein he narrates an experience which has changed his perspective of life altogether. Let's find out what led to such a dramatic transformation. So this lesson was extracted from his speech. Then he shared his experience. So what changed his life? Here, there are 13 points. So let's say one by one. More and more, as I near the end of my career as a heart surgeon, my thoughts have turned to the consideration of why people should suffer. Consideration means here, worry. Then he became an aged person, then he thought, turned about the suffering of people. The suffering seems cruelly prevalent in the world today. But he noticed that the suffering is common among the people in the world. Do you know that of that 125 million children born this year, the 12 million are unlikely to reach the age of 1 and another, the 6 million will die before the age of 5. So what a pathetic condition in the world of infant. So among 125 million, the nearly 12 million, the infant died before the age of 1. And 6 million children or infant died before the age of 5. And the rest of the many will end up as a mental or physical cripples. The remaining children or infant is really worried or affected with the mental or physical cripples or cripples. What is the meaning for cripples? The people with some disability preventing them from performing certain normal function, some kind of disability. So other people, they suffers with some kind of disability in their life. Here it is the second point. The gloomy thoughts probably stem from the accident I had a few years ago. So these kind of thinking, they came from the incident. That means the author and the narrator, the doctor and his wife met with an accident. One minute I was crossing the street with my wife after a lovely meal together, and the next minute a car had hit me and knocked me into my wife. She was thrown into the other lane and struck by a car coming from the outside opposite direction. The narrator, that means the doctor and his wife just came out from the hotel after had the sweet meal. Unfortunately, a car struck them. So she was thrown into the other lane and she got stuck under the car which was coming from the opposite side. The next. So during the next few days in the hospital, I experienced not only agony and fear, but also anger. Then after the accident, they were hospitalized. So where he experienced not only agony means your suffering and fear, but also anger. She got great frustration. I could not understand why my wife and I had to suffer. But he had no idea, so why they suffered a lot. I had 11 broken ribs and a perforated lungs. Then he had 11 broken ribs and also the damaged lungs. Perforated means damaged. My wife had a badly fractured shoulder. And his wife also had a severe fracture on her shoulder. Over and over, I asked myself, why should this happen to us? I had work to do after all. There were patients waiting for me to operate on them. My wife had a young baby who needed her care. Then he thought to herself why they had to suffer, and also he thought, say he had many works because he was a doctor. The patients were waiting for him. So for his the treatment, and also his wife had a young baby. So really the baby needed the care of mother. Here it is the point number 4. My father, he had still been alive, would have said, my son, it's a God's will. So that's why God tests you. The suffering ennobles you, that makes you a better person. So his father advised him that God tests a man to make him a better person. That is the God's way to testing the person. It makes the person very ennobles. Ennobles means sublime, with the noble quality. But as a doctor, I see nothing noble in the patients thrashing around on the sweat-soaked bed, so mind clouded in agony. Nor can I see any nobility in the crying of a lonely child in the ward at night. But he did not accept it. He could not find any nobility in the pain of passions and crying a little child at the ward at the night. So he found nothing. The point number 6. In those days, they didn't have sophisticated heart surgery. In those days, they didn't have any kind of advanced facility for the heart surgery. I have always found the suffering of children particularly heartbreaking, especially because of their total trust in doctors and nurses. So really worried about the condition of children. And also the parents believed the doctors and nurses because they are going to treat the patients. They believe you are going to help them. If you cannot, they accept their fate. Really, the parent believe the doctor and nurse because they are going to give the treatment for their wards. If they do not, means they will accept their fate. They are ready. They go through mutilating surgery, and afterwards they don't complain. What is the meaning for mutilating surgery? A surgery involving removal of tissues even at the risk of worsening of the patient's condition. So they are ready to accept that condition, and also they are not ready to complain about that. Okay, students, the remaining 7 points will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.